All right, so now let's switch the navigation, okay? This navigation of the screen. But before that, let's just try to text again and see if we have another chat here, okay? So let's come here and then let's say, what is Flutter? Let's send this message. Okay, so we have an answer of what is Flutter. Then this also, okay, it's still answering, and then this is going to be the answer. Now, if we come back here, it has also created another history, okay? You've seen that it's put it on top. This is another message, okay? This is another chat. So if we get in this one, we're going to continue this chat. If we get in this one, we're going to continue this chat. But right now we haven't created the method, okay? So in this one, let's move the navigations, okay? So what we want to do is let's go first to the home screen. Let's close that. Let's close that. Let's go to the home screen. Where is that? Home screen. Okay. Now this current index, we don't want to read it locally. So let's remove it. This page controller, let's remove it. So the page controller, we want to read it from the provider. So what we're going to do is let's wrap this with a consumer widget, okay? Consumer, and then we're going to get the chat provider, okay? Now here we need the builder. Okay, first of all, we need to import all of these before we get the builders. Okay, now we're going to need the builder here, okay? So let's make it, let's let it create, and then now we're going to return this scaffold. Let's cut it. And then, so let me move this here and then return our scaffold there. Now we can delete this child. And then we can close that like that. So now here, this, let's call it chat provider. And then this page controller is going to come from chat provider.page controller. And then this, now we're no longer going to set the state. Okay. We're just going to call our chat provider.set current index. Okay. Set current index, which is going to be our index. Okay. Like that. Now, this, of course, is the same. It's going to come from chat provider.current index, and then here we're no longer going to call set state. We have to get chat provider dot page controller dot jump to index. Now we also need to set the current index on top of that. So chat provider dot set current index. Okay, not that. Set current index, which is going to be index. And then that's what we need to do inside here. Now the other thing is to go in the chat history. First of all, let's hot reload. We can, so that we test that it works here. Okay. So I think the application has loaded. Now you can see that it's still working. If we click here, it's still working. Now it's just using the provider. Okay. Great. Now, next thing is to go in the chat history. So here on the chat history widget, where is that chat history widget? So here where we are navigating, okay? We need to also navigate from the chat provider, okay? So what are we going to do here? So here, if we go to the chat history, are we getting any reference from chat provider? No, we're not. But if we come here, we can again just read from the chat provider. Okay, final chat provider. We can have context, context.read chat provider. Now let's import all of these. Let's import that. So here, when we click here, we're going to set current index to 1 because we know 1 is chat screen. Okay, but now before all of this happens, we need to prepare the chat room. When we click here, we need to load all these messages and put them in the chat room. Okay, so let's not do this just yet. Okay, right now if we hot reload, it's going to move, but it's not going to go with any data. Okay, if we click here, okay, okay, it has moved. You can see that it has moved to that index. Okay, but we did not jump. We need to call this other method, this jump to we need to call the page controller and jump. Okay, we come here, then paste it there. Okay, so this it has to be index 1. Okay, now if we hot reload, okay, now if we click here, you can see that it's jumping here, but it's not coming with any data. Okay, so to come with any data, the data, we need to create a method. Before this happens, first of all, we need to prepare the chat. Okay, prepare the chat. Okay, the chat provider. So let's create this method inside the chat provider. Okay, so let's go in the chat provider. Where can we create that method? So this is save message to DB. Maybe let's go above send message. Okay, here let's create the method. So let's call it prepare. So let's just call prepare chat room. Okay, chat room. So let's create a future method. This is going to be a void. Let's call it a prepare chat room, like that. So this method, let's just pass some things here. Okay, so first let's pass a required bool. Is let's call it is new chat. Okay, is new chat, and then let's also require a string. Of course, we're going to need the chat ID. Okay, chat ID to check which chat we have to open. Okay, so this is going to be asynchronous, of course. Now here, first of all, let's check if is not a new chat. If it's not a new chat, which means we are returning. Okay, we have clicked one of these, it's not a new chat. Okay, so if it is not a new chat, we need to load messages from DB. Okay, load chats from DB. Okay, you know that we have already created this method before, so this is just a wait set in chat messages, but not this one. We're just going to directly call load messages from DB, and then we're going to pass that chat ID. Okay, the chat ID on top. Now we have to initialize this message here. So let's call it chat history, like that. Okay, now we have loaded the message from DB. So after we have loaded the message from DB, first we're going to clear in chat messages. Okay, so let's do clear in chat messages, because for example we are already in some chat here, and then we come here, we want to load the history. First, before we get in that, we want to clear what is in there. Okay, so let's just put some comments here. 1, we do that. 2, we do that. Okay, So after we clear in-chat messages, we are going to loop through all the messages in chat history and then now add them to in-chat messages. Okay. For each message in each chat messages. Okay, we are missing something here. Let's put another bracket there. Okay. For each message in chat history, we are going to messages in chat messages dot add message. Okay. Right after we do that, once it's done, we are going to set the current chat ID. Okay. Now, if we set the current chat ID, which is going to be that. Okay. This is if it's not a new chat. Okay. Else, if it's a new chat, what we're going to do here is just to clear in-chat clear in-chat messages, and then set the chat ID to the chat ID. Okay. So if it's a new message, this chat ID, we are going to set it to, so the chat ID here, let's keep it nullable. Okay, so let's remove this and then let's put it like that. Okay, so now if we go to set set current chat ID, it's a string. Okay, now this current chat ID is if we come back here, it's an empty string. Okay, so if we want, so what is it complaining here? Okay, it's saying that this can be fine. Well, let's just do what it wants. So this current chat ID is empty. Okay, so also if we come here, all right, okay, we can just require it. There's no need to put it as a nullable. Okay, because if it's a new chat, we'll send a empty chat ID. Okay, so if it's a new chat, we just put this chat ID, we'll just send it as empty. Okay, so this is going to be our method to prepare the chat room. Now all we have to do is here in the chat widget. Before we do that, let's await chat provider dot prepare chat room, and then we are going to get the chat ID. So this chat ID is going to come from the chat. Okay, so why are we having, so this should be prepare chat room. So prepare chat room. Okay, so required is the new chat here is going to be false. Okay, because we are returning. Okay, now here we need to add async keyword, and then this has to be the chat ID, which is going to come from chat.chat ID. Okay, great. Now right after this is done, now we are going to navigate. So we'll do the same. Even let's copy this, then we go to the empty list here. We're going to paste that, and then let's also import all of these. Import that. Let's put an async keyword. So here it's an empty. It's empty. So this is going to be true. Okay. This is, since it's a new chat. Okay. And then here we are just going to send an empty string. Okay. Great. Now that we have this done, it's time to give it a try. So let's hot reload once again. The application has started. We can move. We can see that we have nothing here. Now if we click here, we can see that we are back to the charts. Okay, now we have a problem. Okay, this message is supposed to be first. Okay, and then this is supposed to be second. Okay, this is going to be a problem. So if we try another one, we can see that our message is coming in as second. Okay, so we need to fix this, because this our messages, it has to be the first one to come. Okay, if we click here, if we click here, we are going to have this chat history. Okay, now we just need to fix this. Okay, so the reason why this is reading like this is it's because of the way we are saving. Okay, we are saving the messages like let me just show you. Save the messages to DB. So first of all, we are saving user message, and then we are saving model message. Okay, now the way we can fix this is we can have this, I mean Hive, to put the IDs here, not us, or we can try to show this list in the chat screen in reverse. Okay, this list here in the chat screen. Okay, but we are going to fix that in the next video. For now, we can see the charts, and then we can return to the charts. Okay, great. So thank you guys, and see you in the next video.